I want to thank Dr. Williams, the Board of Trustees of Mount St. Joseph University, for bestowing on me the Honorary Doctor of Humane Letters. I am very humbled and grateful. Thank you. And greetings to the class of 2021. Today, we celebrate you, your accomplishments, your dreams, and your visions. Today, your hopes of making a difference in our world continues to be a lived reality. Our hearts are filled with gratitude as you mark another milestone in your life journey. A few lines from a favorite book of mine. I'm not sure it would have been on your reading list. It's On the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. It really is very fittingly captures today's theme. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. Our world has complex and challenging issues. These are times of great unrest, racial inequality, climate control, living through a pandemic, and the list goes on. One thing we know for certain is that these issues have serious implications for all of us. But we also know that we are in this together. As you continue on your journey, look around at the people who have supported you, who have believed in you, and the direction that you have been preparing for. Sometimes the road before you will be straight, with stops along the way. And other times, there will be detours and crossroads where you will have to choose what to explore. Listen to your heart, your passion for what's important to you, your values. They will be your guide along the road, where you will experience life insights from what I call sacred moments of the journey. These sacred moments will take you to places that you will never forget. They will leave a lasting impression with you and help define who you are and who you wish to be. I would like to share with you today 3 sacred moments from my own life journey that have defined who I am today. It was the summer of 1970. I was all of 23 years old, a sister of charity, and about to move from Cincinnati to Denver, Colorado, to start a new teaching assignment. My dad was a retired Air Force pilot, and he and my mom lived in Springfield, Ohio. My dad had just returned from California visiting my brother. I was living in Cincinnati when I received a phone call informing me that my dad had suffered a massive heart attack and had died. I stayed with my mom through the funeral, and then in time, I made my trip to Denver to prepare for my new school year. What wasn't in my plan was my need for emergency surgery. The sister I lived with in Denver invited my mom to come to Denver, stay at the convent for a month while I recuperated. That was a healing time for both of us. She returned to Ohio. Then 2 weeks later, my uncle came over early one morning to inform me that my mother was found dead. She too had suffered a massive heart attack. I was devastated. In a second, my world was turned upside down. Let's just say it wasn't the best 4 months of my life. I learned a lot, though, about grief, self-care, and blessings in the midst of grief. I made choices about what was important in my life, what was meaningful. I set a goal to make a difference in whatever I did. I went on to teach art in the summer program in the Watts area in Los Angeles after the Watts riots. I worked with middle school children, including some in gangs. Later, I went on to serve 9 years ministering in Denver's inner city. A second sacred time occurred in 1999. On April the 20th that year, the Columbine High School shootings took place in Littleton, Colorado, a suburb of Denver. That day, 12 students were killed, 1 teacher, and seriously injured 20 other students. The 2 shooters also took their life that day. I was a chaplain at St. Anthony Hospital in Denver. I received a call that day to go and help at Littleton Hospital, nearest to the school. The atrium-like entrance to the hospital was a very chaotic scene, with big screen TVs being set up for live coverage as the incident was still unfolding. Family members and distraught students were walking in the front door of the hospital. Ambulances were coming to the emergency entrance, all looking helpless and needing help. A man came in the front door who was very frantic, came up to me and said, "Is my wife here? Where is she? I can't find her. I have been to 5 hospitals. I cannot find her." He was very desperate, and it was very real that his wife might be one of the dead. I was able to establish that his wife was the teacher in the library where most of the shootings took place. I was also able to confirm that she was being treated at Littleton Hospital. As I went back to the husband to tell him, I wondered what I could say that would comfort this man in grief. I was able to look him in the eye and say, "Your wife will heal from her physical injuries, but she will spend the rest of her life dealing with what happened today." We both cried. I told him to stay close by because she was going to be discharged soon. Later, I saw them bring his wife out. As they hugged each other, my heart was heavy with grief, realizing that the journey that was beginning for them was only just beginning. That teacher saved many students that day, hiding them in storage spaces in the library. I do believe her grief-stricken husband and I bonded in that sacred moment. A third experience also caught me unprepared. Life just happens that way. On December 11th, 2014, 7 years ago today, I was involved in a head-on car collision in front of the hospital, where I served for more than 20 years. The EMT rolled me into the ER, where I knew everyone. I heard a nurse say, "Oh my God, that's Sister Pat." In the exam room, there were many people, all doing different things. It just seemed too busy for me. So I looked up and focused on the head nurse, watching her face as she took control of the situation. Then she said something that no patient wants to hear their emergency caregiver say. In a loud voice, she said to the team, "We're losing her. Blood pressure's failing. We have to get her to the trauma room now." I thought to myself, this wasn't going to be good, but off we went. I closed my eyes and said, "God, where are you? We need a little help down here," thinking that my life might soon end. I will never forget the nurse's face. She wasn't panicking. She was very much in control of the situation. As she looked down at me, she might as well have said, "Sister Pat, we've got this. You're not going to die on my shift today." I learned a lot that day about not being in control, about trusting others. My life was truly in their hands, and I knew God was close by. I have a prayer on my desk that I've had for years, and it reads, Lord, help me to remember that nothing is going to happen to me today that you and I cannot handle. Absolutely nothing is going to happen to me today that you and I cannot handle. The faces of those you will meet and have already met along your life journey and the images you will see are sacred moments. They will define you, moments that you will remember for the rest of your life. These sacred moments will guide you to places of the heart and will be your teachers. Oliver Wendell Holmes once wrote, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." When I look at you today, I see our future, and it's truly awe-inspiring. In closing, I would like to offer a blessing upon each of you. Good and gracious God, we ask a special blessing on these graduates today. May they always be an inspiration to others. May they be faith-filled women and men going forth with meaning and purpose in their lives, making a difference in the lives of others. May our graduates be open and treasure those sacred moments of their lives, moments when they will experience your loving care. We ask this in the name of all that is holy. Amen, and congratulations.